Well, hi guys. Well, in this video, what we're going to cover off is what everybody's trying to solve. How do you optimize your content for both Googles of the world, but also AI? So this video is going to focus on how we can actually start optimizing content for both sort of channels. Because let's face it, that's how people are searching these days, both on your likes of ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini, and also your traditional Googles and Bings and Yahoo and so forth. Maybe not much Yahoo, but definitely Google. To make this more practical, what I'll suggest is, and I've created this mock-up website where if I go, not this first, sorry, let me close this one. I'm using GoDaddy to build this. So this, let's just say I have this company, and this company is basically, it's a good idea by the way, it's an innovative multi-vitamin advertising platform focused on students. So basically what you do is you create cartons or packages like this with different types of vitamins. You can offer it free for students. And advertisers can advertise because it's free, but you can get some generate advertising revenue from promoting for distributing these vitamins for free for students, targeting students. Why students? Because they are more conscious. You've been a student or not, but it's stressful. You need some vitamin B's, vitamin C's, and it has a long life shelf. So imagine that advertising being there in their kitchen table or whatever. So it's a solution it's a new kind of advertising platform solution for targeting at students specifically, but you can of course branch out more widely. But anyway, I'm not trying to promote this anyway. It's all about building content to do this, because let's face it, something like this, advertising in any particular domain is quite, there's a lot of traffic around that, right? It's a lot of noise. So how do you get noticed by both Google and the likes of ChatGPT and Perplexity and Gemini? So let's go into NotebookLM. And the first thing I want to do is really understand the landscape, around advertising. What's new, what's not. So what I'm going to do is going to go into Discover feature, and it's going to extract all sort of the latest, and all these prompts are available, so don't worry. And what you can do is you can just edit the prompts to your domain. In this case, it's picked up quite a few interesting. So this is what I'm looking for. Advertising. Okay, let me just import these anyway. So any of these prompts you will see in there, there's ability for you to edit your domain, your business, your ideal customer profile, and so forth. So for now, I just put it more. You can just edit, you can pause on this as well, this video, and learn about these techniques to edit the prompts to suit you. So that's going to be easy. Now, it's of course loading all the content, so we're going to wait, and so this might take a while. So let me pause and get back to when it's done. All right, so it's done, and it's done a great job of summarizing all the content here. I also like to generate the sitemap, but in essence, this is what I want to build. I want to first get a really broad understanding of what's happening in that landscape, that domain. Then I'm going to add that, and from there I can actually start saying, okay, how do I build a value proposition that is clearly selling my solution in this crowded space. So let's just see quickly. So the future advertising, fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. AI, so that's going to be a very important. So these are quite interesting pillars and strategies for you to sort of, and the role of advertising in the world of AI, and potentially in the role of distribution, which is very related to what we're trying to do, right? With the value proposition I have, which is a physical advertising platform where you can advertise on vitamins for students, very specific. Okay, this is good. I mean, we can go into more detail, but this is really great stuff. I'm going to close this. What I'm going to do is I often do is save as a note, and what I'm going to do is add to the sources, right? So I'm going to see if you go here and go add. So I want to add these sources there. You can go down there, so it's add this source, because I want to continue to build. The next phase is really around, okay, well, I need to develop topic clusters. So maybe 3 to 4 topic clusters that when I'm writing any content, the content must live in those 3 to 4 topic clusters. Why? Because ultimately we want to build authority in those topic areas. And so 4 is enough for you to get started. And so that's what I want to try to do. And what I'm going to do now is go back to NotebookLM. But before I do that, I'm going to actually add in my website. So basically this website. So copy this and add it as a source. Why? Because I'm going to ask it to look at this site and create topic clusters that is appropriate for both the value proposition, which is vitamins in carton for advertisers to advertise for students, which is the target audience. Okay, so I'm going to add that to it, and now I'm going to create a prompt, which again you can customize this prompt. So I'm going to type it right here. So here, insert your, basically you insert your value proposition. In my case, it's that's my value proposition right there. It's an advertising platform for students, and I want to generate 4 SEO clusters, and that's enough for now, right? For my ISP, so we're basically advertisers and brand managers, and I want to put in again my URL, which I've added, but I'm going to add it again just to make sure. So let me go back here. Boom. Okay. So hopefully we will create 4 topic clusters, and these are the clusters ideally that I'm going to write future content into those buckets, which is so important because that's ultimately you want to build that brand authority in those spaces. So this is great. This is what I'm looking for. And advertising channels and platforms. The idea is to write content around these areas, okay, around this topic area. Another one is, that's perfect. This is what I need to write content that always hits one of these buckets. So basically anything about innovative platforms and channels and advertising to students. Increasing visibility. Yes, that's like, how do you increase sustainable brand visibility? Another great topic cluster. And of course, reporting. So that are great topics for me to start building all my content around these 4 areas. Does that make sense? It's so important. Because you can go wild, but if you have those topic clusters, you're going to continually write, and eventually over time, you'll start building your brand authority in that space, in that specific place that is tailored to your value proposition. Okay, so now we have our topic clusters. I'm going to actually give you an example of how this can come about. So I'm going to take one topic cluster and ask it to create maybe 3 or 4 topic articles that I will potentially write in the future. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in another prompt, okay, ask it saying, okay, let's just say here, you just replace this. I'm going to take, I'm going to take the student advertising one. That's a good one. I'm going to see one. Okay, I'm going to take that and replace that. And I want the content to be, ensuring that it goes with EEAT, and so we know it's expertise, experience, authoritativness and trustworthiness. So we want to maintain that framework, but matching the tone of our value proposition. So I'm going to put in again our site, even though it's already updated. I'm going to put in that's our website, okay, and I want it to return a table. And what I want to return the table with is basically, this is what I want to return the table with. I want the keyword topic, associated cluster. So ideally it would be the student one I said. Where is it? So it would be this. And 5 keywords that in the body it should always incorporate. So basically trying to increase that keyword density. Okay, let's see. I'm taking only one, and I want it to create topics around this or titles. I should actually said, let me see, yeah, here we go. This is perfect. So you can see here, look at this. Why target student advertising, unlocking the power of future demographic. Beautiful. And it's targeting, see this here? It's targeting the keyword cluster that I'm focusing. There's only one cluster, by the way. So you can see here, beyond digital noise, innovative ways to connect with students. Beautiful. And see, these are the keywords that I'll need to build into my future content, which you can use on Claude or ChatGPT. Even write it here on NotebookLM if you wanted to. But actually, it would be a good idea because you already have the content down here, right? So you have a lot of the background context around it, so it becomes very rich. And of course, you will review that and maybe personalize it with verbatims and testimonies from clients and customers and so forth. But all in all, for this this is what I was expecting, and this will be working very well. Then the next phase was, well, okay, how do I start optimizing this? Say I've written one particular blog, or let's go back to the website. If I look at this website now, and I go into and say, has this, when if I write the content, you have all your blog posts and stuff, but is this website already geared for, or let's not geared, is it friendly for AI to pick up, even if I build authority? So there's various sites you can use. You can use Google's. Google has one as well, in terms of called Google Rich Results Test. In this case, what I'm going to do, one second, I'm going to copy the URL, go here and paste that. I want to see how well it's been written already. Okay, so you can see it's not there. So the question here is, if it's not detected, how do you get detected? So that's where we're going to back into. I prefer, you can use Gemini or ChatGPT to actually instructed. And let me just quickly go back here. So instructed. So if I go into here and I've got another prompt, let me just get this for you. So we can go chat Gemini, okay, and we can write that in it. So you can just basically, what it's asking you to do is create a schema for my site. So you just insert your details of your URL, insert your value proposition, insert some of the keywords, and you can put in your URL and so forth. So I already did that. So what I'm going to do, so let me just run that. So it will create the generic one, okay. So this will be a generic one that you can add it to Webflow. If you're using CMS, you can add it to the CMS and make it dynamic. I have to put in the URL for that one. Let me just quickly put in that URL. Let me just go there. But I've already done that. So, but you can, like I said, you'll put in your stuff, and that. So basically, you copy this and edit your keywords. Okay, so I've already done that. So if I go into, in this case, GoDaddy, I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. So I'm going to add this now. Remember, it wasn't appearing. So what I'm going to do is go into HTML, add that, because it's going to be in HTML. And I have my prompt, my custom script that I've prepared based on this, I'm using ChatGPT and or Gemini, which I've already created. So what I'm going to do is added this. This is how you get appearing in your ChatGPTs, in your Perplexities, in your Google Gemini. So that's the script basically, and that's that customized. Okay, so you can use that. And all you need to do is just prompt, just say, build me the schema. So what I'm going to do, go back to this and publish it because we wanted to save it. Okay, so I'm going to add this now. I didn't put a title because, and now you can do this, like I said, on the CMS, in WordPress or Webflow if you're using that. So not now. Now I'm going to do is copy this URL and then retest. Let's see how we go. So it should pick up that schema that I've put in. There you go, it's there. So now we have a really great way to find clusters. So let's just summarize. We went and built an understanding of the land around advertising or whatever domain in terms of landscape of that area. We used that to add it into the sources. From there, we started going down, narrow down to our value proposition and our ISP, and started saying, okay, give me appropriate topic clusters, at least 4, that I can actually write future content to build my brand authority in that space. And then so that will help with the SEO for the likes of the Google traditional way. But also what we did one step further is build a JavaScript schema that we added to, and typically you add it to your just below your headers, your header tags. That's pretty much. And if you're using CES, content management system, you can actually customize and make it dynamic to whatever content you want. And if you get lost, it's so easy to go in ChatGPT to help you guide you through. And I'm not technical, and I just did it right there. So what we did there is then optimize. We found our clusters that we want to write to. We even suggested possible topics that we want to cover off in the future. So basically, if I go back here, these are the 4 topic clusters that we're going to write to. And then I took one topic cluster that is aligned to the sources already around domain authority. And I said, hey, for that topics cluster, give me a topic so I can write about which cluster it fits in, ideally, and also some keywords that I should featureize. And this I can take and create content out of. And then last but not least, we went to update our schema to see, so ensure that likes of ChatGPT and other language models, our value proposition appears. Wow, that was a lot. I hope that was useful. Stay tuned for another video. And okay, and also subscribe, like, all that stuff, comment.